Hey guys, welcome to today's session. My name is Madhur Singh and I will be talking about 10 best skills to acquire in 2022 for freshers. So before starting the session, I would like to ask if I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. Please write in the chat box yes if I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. We will be starting the session once you confirm if I am clearly audible and visible to you and if my screen is visible to all of you. All right, Rao is saying yes, I am clearly audible and visible. Thank you so much for confirming, Rao. We'll start this session now. So, we are talking about today about the 10 best skills that you need to acquire in 2022. So, let's talk about the agenda of this session. I will talk to you about why do you need to upskill? What is the actual need to upskill in 2022? What are the things that you lack or what are the things that are required to be known in 2022? Now, if you are a fresher, if you are just right out of college, if you are someone who has just started working in some company, or if you are in your final year of college, doesn't matter, this session is for you. This session is for you to know what are the skills that are there in high demand in 2022. Now, the problem arises here is that you are fresher, you have not much gained much experience in the IT sector, you have not gained much experience in the corporate world, so you would not know what are the current trending demand high demand skills that are required in the industry, right? Everyone wants their first CTC to be really high, right? In order to make it high, you need to have certain relevant skills that are required, because in the next 10 to 20 years your package, your CTC, your salary structure would definitely increase from there. It would not reduce. So gaining a good first salary package is really important. And for that, you need to upskill yourself. That is what we are talking about here. Then I'll talk to you about the 10 skills that are really, really essential to know in 2022 that will push you to the top 1% of the country, right? Everyone wants to be at the top these days, right? Because in this competitive world, India has a population of 1.3 billion. Now, just imagine the type of competition you would be facing in this industry, right? Huge, huge competition. Now, we will make sure that you are ahead of this competition. We'll make sure that you gain the relevant skills that are required, right? So we'll talk about that in the skill section. Then we'll talk about the Pareto principle. We'll talk about the most effective way in learning these skills, right? I know some of you would be preparing for some of the exams that happen, semester exams in college. Some of you would be, just started working in any company. So you have limited time, right? And I can understand that. So I will be telling you what is the most simplest way to learn, the most effective way to learn these skills. At the end, I have a bonus section for you in which I will be talking about all these skills. I'll be talking about where you can learn all these skills for free. You can gain a certificate for free. What are the various ways in which you can enhance your resume, right? I'll talk all about that in the bonus section. So let's get started. Let's see why do you need to upskill in 2022. Now, according to a report, right? This is stated that 79% of the individuals who are working in the IT sector, they believe that they have a skills gap, right? They have a gap in the level of skills that they have. So that is why they need to upskill. That is the response from employees that are working in the company, right? So this is going to be a very, very interactive session. So make sure that you have any queries, you put them in the chat box, and I will be more than happy to reply to all of your queries. You don't have to hesitate if any query is small or big. You don't have to worry. I'll answer all of them. You just need to have this the willingness to ask your questions, because if you don't ask you would not know, right? And I want each and everyone who are present in this particular session to gain something out of this session. So any queries that you have, put them in the chat box. So why do you need to upskill in 2022? Number one is the skills gap that people have, right? That the employees have these days. Now, the companies, what do they want, right? Let me be very honest. All the companies are very selfish. They want the best of minds at the most economical cost, right? So that is why they'll take the people who have more relevant skills than the ones who have less relevant skills, because at the end they want the best minds in the industry. And trust me, right, with such huge competition, they would definitely find someone or the other. That is the reason you need to upskill. Then comes growing digital technologies and innovation, right? So just imagine, dude, before the era of 4G revolution, right? We had feature phones. No one had smartphones really. But after the 4G revolution, each one of them have smartphones in their hand. Similarly, this disruption in technologies led to a change of habit, a change of using feature phones to smartphones. Then, during the demonetization, most of the people before that used to use cash as a mode of payment, right? That demonetization happened, most of the people switched to online payments, right? This led to the generation of UPI and all that stuff. Digital transactions then grew, right? Before the COVID era, most of the people used to shop offline. Of the people used to go out and do shopping. But after the COVID happened, post COVID, most of us now order everything online, right? Everything that is a necessity to us is, actually available online in the digital world. So these disruptions, right, that happen, that lead to certain changes, right? Similarly, in the industry, there are certain skills that are required to be known, because when there is a change, there is shift, most of the people tend to change, right? They tend to upgrade themselves to the technology, to the skills that is high demanding these days, which is why it is important for you to upskill yourself. It is important for you to adapt to the new changes that have happened in the world, right? So we'll talk about the upskilling in 2022. What are the skills? Third most important point to note when it comes to why you need to upskill is the level of productivity. Each individual want to be productive these days. Companies want their employees to be productive these days, right? So to increase the level of productivity, for example, there are certain softwares that are data visualization software that everyone should know, right? Just imagine if people working in the companies don't know how to use Excel. It would be a lack of productivity for the company, right? Similarly, these new age things like Power BI, Tableau, these are a new age things, right? New softwares that everyone need to learn, because data visualization is really important these days. So these skills also are important to be learned. I'll talk about that in the session. Then comes career growth and enhancement. Now it has been seen that the managers or the senior vice presidents of the company who are in their 50s and 60s, right, they haven't really upskilled themselves today, right? So they fear the lack of skills that will be out of the company because of the lack of skills that have come up. Now you are a fresher, you are in your early 20s or mid 20s. Now it is really important for you to make sure all the relevant skills that are uptrending in this world is you grab them, you make sure that you have that skill set that is required to sustain yourself in this IT sector, in this corporate world. Then the last point that comes up is people are concerned about job security. They are concerned about whether, at 5 years when they are experienced, whether someone who is much more skilled than them, will they take over you, will they be ahead of you, right? So all these things are a concern to people. That is why you need to upskill in 2022, right? Sahil is asking, sir, what is skill gap? So Sahil, it is about, you are in the company, there are certain new softwares that come up, there are certain new, skills that come up. I'll take a general example. You used to make pie charts, right? Pie charts used to be made in Excel, right? Now these days they are made in Power BI software, they are made in Tableau software. So this shift has come up because the data that is generated these days is massive, right? You cannot rely completely on Microsoft Excel to do a lot of stuff. That is the reason the skills gap is when you do not have the relevant knowledge of a particular software or a particular thing to sustain in the industry. That is the skill gap that I'm talking about. Hope that answers that your question. All right. So now I'll talk about the 10 skills that are relevant, 10 skills that are high demanding, that are very, very important to be known in 2022. That will push you to the top 1%. That is what we are talking about in this particular section. So again, if you have any queries regarding any of the skills that I'm talking about, feel free to put them in the chat box. I'll take up your queries. I'll tell to clarify what you are thinking, your doubts, everything I'll clarify. So next, let's start with the first skill that is the most relevant skill, that is coding. Now, coding often known as a programming language. For the all the non-programmers, right? Some of you are from the non-programming background. Some of you are from mechanical engineering, from civil engineering, from sections that are not very used to use computer programming. You don't have to worry at all. I'll talk about how you can learn these skills. I'll talk about where you can learn these skills for absolutely free. You can make your career transition to these high paying sector, to this high paying job opportunities. Secondly, for the people who are already in this sector, who are already used to knowing about computer programming, for those, right, we still have a lot of things you need to learn that are not taught in college. We'll talk about those skills as well in this particular section. So the first skill for all the non-programmers who do not know programming, the first thing that you need to know is coding. Coding, which often known as computer programming, is the method through which we communicate with computers. Now, a code is just like a set of instruction, right? It instructs the machine what to do. Writing code is again very, very similar to giving a set of instructions. You can teach computers what to do or behave considerably more quickly, right? When you learn how to code. What are the applications of coding? You can design your own application. You can start becoming an entrepreneur. You can start your own website. So all these things, your business can be run through online modes. What you need, the backbone of it is coding, right? What are the languages that you need to know? Now, coding is a thing, computer programming, you need to learn certain programming languages. So what are the most important languages that we need to learn? The languages are C, C++, Python, Java, and R. Out of these, if someone asks me what is the one that you need to do, like there are so many languages, what is the one that you need to start from? I would say it is Python because it is easy to understand, it is easy to learn, and again, it is widely accepted across the globe. So Python, Java, really, really important languages that you must have in your resume. So next, when we talk about coding, we also talk about what are the jobs that are there in coding, right? What are the most relevant jobs are that there in coding? Number one is software developer, then is web developer, then is computer systems engineer, database administrator. Now, if you have tons and tons of data, you would know that, okay, this is the relevant amount of data that is required. So you become a database administrator. Then you have web developer, you design websites. Everything can be done from coding. Then you develop certain softwares that are required. You check the computer systems are working or not. You check the quality of these softwares. So all that thing is done through software assurance engineer. Right. Someone is asking me, sir, can you teach us Python? Yes, I will tell you where you can learn all these skills. You have to stay with me till the very end. I will tell you where you can learn all these skills for free, for absolutely free. Now, Abhishek is asking me, sir, what are the best skills required for today's financial analyst job? Abhishek, you just have to stay in the session. At the end, I will tell you where you can learn. I believe you want to be a financial analyst. I'll tell you where you can get the relevant skills that are required to sustain in 2022. Stay with me, stay till the end. I will tell you where you can learn all these skills for absolutely free. And you'll get a certificate as well for that. Right? Then second most important thing that comes up is content marketing. Now, content marketing is used by businesses to reach and convert potential customers. Now, all these people who are from the non-programming background and who do not want to learn coding as well, what is the hot skill that is there relevant in 2022, right? That is content marketing. Now, if you look at YouTube, if you look at people who are in YouTube, most of them are influencers these days, right? They have tons and tons of data that videos or content that needs to be managed. So you as a content marketer can, apply to those jobs. You can be a part of their team. You can manage the YouTube platform, the social media marketing channels. So all those things you can manage. That is what you would be doing, right? So what are the elements that are required to have in content marketers? It is the content planning skills. What is the type of content you need to create? What is the type of content that is high demand, right? So all these things you'll be learning in content marketing. That is understanding of sales funnel, right? At the end, everyone wants to, generate revenue out of it. So you need to have an understanding of how the sales funnel work, right? Through marketing, you don't have to pitch any customer. How funneling works, how does the marketing funnel works? That is what you will be learning in this content marketing segment. Then comes market research. Again, there are tons and tons of YouTube channels. For example, I'll give you a brief example. So you have competition with another YouTube channel, right? So you need to do your market research, if they are getting more views, if they are getting more and more subscribers. So all these things, what is the relevant thing that you need to do? What are the digital marketing efforts that you need to put in? So all that things you have to know in market research. Then is search engine optimization skill. So you would have noticed, if you search anything on Google, they have different websites that are there, right? And from your habit, you could know you only click on the ones that are in the top five, right? Or in the first page of Google. So how does Google know which is the best website, right? For companies, right? What is their aim? Their aim is to make sure their website ranks at the top. How that is done through search engine optimization. When we talk about content marketing, you need to have the skill of search engine optimization in your portfolio. Then analytical skills, you need to analyze the trends that are there in the marketing world. What are the various trends that are involved? All that you need to learn in the content marketing space. So what would be the jobs that you would be targeting in content marketing space? That would be of a content writer, of a content strategist, of a content marketer, of a content manager. And as a search engine optimization expert, you would be telling how to optimize that particular website or that particular business online. So all these things you will be learning in content marketing. Okay, Arpas is asking me that, sir, best skill for finance expert, right? I'll talk about what are the best skills for finance expert when we go through what are the skills that you need to learn as a finance expert. I will talk about that. I have a special section for you as well where I'll talk about finance in general. Then comes, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Someone is asking, can I pursue career in coding being from a commerce background? Yes, you don't have to worry if you have, again, as I started this session, I told you it doesn't matter that if you are from a non-coding background, if you're a non-IT sector background, it does not matter. Coding is a very, very simplistic thing that you can learn. It just requires a lot of patience. It requires step-by-step understanding, and you would be good to go. It is not a very complex thing like people tell about that it is complex. It is not like that. It is very, very simple. You don't need to worry at all. You just need to stay with me till the very end. I'll tell you where you can learn Python for free, absolutely free, by top faculties across the globe. And also you can get a certificate that you can put in your resume, and would be good to go to apply to any of the jobs regarding computer programming, right? Hope that answers your question. Now, the third most relevant skill that I'm talking about is UI UX design. Now, what is that? I'll give you a brief intro of what is that. Now, every website, if you have seen, right, it has some aesthetics involved in it. It has some color gradients that are involved in it. It has different set of, tabs that are there. So all these things that you see visually in a website, that is maintained by a UI UX designer. The UI is user interface and UX is user experience. So what does a UI designer do? So UI designer focuses on the topographic designs of a website, about the spacing, how the tabs are spaced, about the color gradients and the contrast of it, right? You might have seen a lot of illustrations, lot of, video animations. All that thing is done by a user interface designer. Again, for a UI UX, you don't need to know coding. You just need to have a good grasp of color gradients, about editing softwares. All that is the thing that you need to know. For a user experience designer, you need to know about the customer requirements, right? For example, if you are going through any application, right, how would a user at the end buy something from your application? How smooth it is for a customer to go through your website or to go through your application. So that is maintained by user UX designer. He tries to understand the customer requirements. He tries to clearly understand the goal of the company. What are they trying to achieve? Now, different people use it differently, right? How would every person, or whether, okay, an app is made for a 60-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 10-year-old, is it easy to use? That is maintained by a user experience designer. Then they brainstorm how the user flow would be. They make wireframe models, knowing how a customer would react when they come to your website, when they come to your particular application. That is done through a UI UX designer. Then we talk about what are the currently trending jobs in UI UX design. That is of a experience strategist, user interface designer, and information architect. An architect is the one who knows both user interface and user experience, and a user experience research that would research the that would do market research about the competition, how their website are there, how easy to use their website is, their competitors' website is. The competitor analysis is also done by user experience researcher. So all these jobs are really, really high demanding, and you can learn about them in the segment I'll tell you at the end, a bonus segment where you can get all these skills for absolutely free. Then what we're trying to understand is that doesn't matter if you're from a non-coding background or a coding background, there's something or the other in 2022 that you can do, because the skills that are required, it is really important for you to upskill, right? Again, you have any queries, put them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to reply to all of your queries. The fourth most important thing, now if you are already from a programming background, the what next you can learn, you can go in the field of cloud computing. What is cloud computing? It is the supply of computer services over the internet that include servers, storages, database, networking, software, analytics, intelligence. So all these things are a part of cloud computing. Now just imagine a company is there. Every one of us have smartphones. So we generate tons and tons of data. Where is that data stored, right? A company cannot go and buy pen drives and store data in it, right? That is not feasible. So they have a lot of big servers, they have a lot of big online cloud storing facilities, right? So that is done through cloud computing. Now, this is a fascinating new topic that has a potential to transform your life, the people how they operate online. So they can, go ahead and know about cloud computing. What are the skills that are required to learn in cloud computing? Computing is Linux. Linux you need to know about. Then you need to have database skills like MySQL, Hadoop. You need to know programming languages like Java, Python, right? Again, as I mentioned before, Python and Java, they are, they are the widely addressed programming languages in this world. So you need to make sure you have a sound knowledge of Java and Python. What to start first? Start with Python, then move on to Java. Then you need to also know about network management. Network management is also really important to know when it comes to cloud computing. Anmol, this session is about your career field. What are the skills you can choose for in 2022? What are the high paying jobs that comes up in the world in 2022? So all the skills we have selected, we have, did a lot of research behind what are the top 10 skills that are required for you all to know in 2022. That is what I'm talking about in today's session. Then what are the top jobs in cloud computing? The cloud computing involves a lot of different types of job. It would be a cloud engineer that would work on the engineering side of cloud computing. Then there would be an architect that would design how the storage unit in cloud would look. Then there would be an infrastructure designer that would overlook what are the things are happening in the cloud storage unit. Then there would be a cloud security engineer, because again, these are very, 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 very confidential things for companies, right? Cloud computing, right? So you need to have a security engineer. You need to make sure that it does not go in the wrong hands. So you have a cloud security engineer. Then there would be at the top field would be the cloud administrator that would govern all the different aspects of cloud computing. So these are the jobs to target. Now you can click a picture of this, because everyone has LinkedIn profile these days, right? Now you're applying to any job, you can take a screenshot of this. You can know what job profiles you need to target, right? That is why I'm showcasing you what are the top jobs that are included in cloud computing. Then comes web development. Now web development skills are popular across a wide range of industries. Every company, now you don't need to be in IT sector to do it, right? Every company these days have a website, and what you need to do is make that website. That is what a web developer does, right? Now it is popular across a wide range of industries, which results in a wide range of job opportunities. Now, web development is a process of creating and maintaining websites, right? You create a website, you maintain a website. So, what are the skills that are required? You need to know HTML, you need to know JavaScript, you need to know UI UX design, and you also need to know C Sharp and .NET frameworks that are a must to know when it comes to web development. You do not have to worry at all if I'm talking, if this is too complicated to understand these skills. I'll simplify it for you at the end. I'll tell you where you can learn all these skills for free, that too from scratch. You don't have to worry at all. Then what are the top jobs that you need to target in web development? If you want to be a web developer, you can be a front end developer, you can be a back end developer. If you know both of these things, you are at a very high level, you can be a full stack developer. And at the end, every website can be hacked easily. So you can also become a cyber security expert in which you can, maintain that security of a particular websites. So these are the jobs to target in web development. Then the sixth most important skill is big data, right? Data is everywhere these days, and every industry, healthcare, fintech, finance, even education, everything has tons and tons of data, right? Now, big data is the engineering of gathering and analyzing large amounts of data in order to extract relevant information that helps in decision making. Now, if you have a very small set of data, if you have a very small amount of data, you can analyze it easily in Excel. But we are talking about tons and tons of data that cannot be done on Excel. That is why you need to learn programming language to do so. You need to learn database skills to do so, right? What are the skills that you need to learn? Again, you need to know about Python. You can also learn about R. Then database skills like MySQL you need to learn. You need to learn about data visualization skills, that is through Tableau or Power BI. Then you need to know about data mining tools. Now, if you want to really get ahead, right? If you're starting out, you can just know just three things: Python, MySQL, Tableau. But if you want to go further ahead in this particular section, you can know about data mining tools like Nime, Apache Mahout, and Rapid Miner. Now, all these things can be learned at one place. I'll tell you where you can learn that too absolutely free. You just have to stay in the session till the end. I'll tell you where you can get all these skills from top faculties very easily at just a click of your button. Next, what are the jobs that you need to target in big data? That is data architecture you need to target. You need to target data engineer. You can also become a data analyst. You can become a database manager. You can become a data scientist. So all these jobs you can target for big data. Seventh most important skill that I'm talking about, again, someone asked me in the comment section about AI. So yes, AI and ML is also the one of the most important things to learn in 2022. Now, if you have noticed, most of the things around us are taking shape of artificial intelligence, right? When we talk about self-driving cars that are coming up, that is powered by artificial intelligence. You have robotic surgeries that happen through artificial intelligence. There is face recognition that happens is through artificial intelligence. If you have used certain apps like Lenskart, right, you would have known what artificial intelligence, face recognition, and all that stuff happens, right? So you that is also a major part in today's world. The upskilling you need to do in artificial intelligence. Again, this is the area in which very few people have transitioned themselves, because it is that elite level of skills. If you learn those skills, you will be in an elite club that knows relevant skills about artificial intelligence and machine learning. And the point to be noted is that this is the most high demanding and high paying skill that you can learn when you are going ahead with your career. Machine learning, right? When you're using Instagram, you would know, if you search for a particular thing, let's say if you're searching for a dog's video on Instagram, right, you would have noticed that your feed, your whatever you see after that would be related to dogs, right? Because you have searched it once. How does that happens? Because the algorithm knows that you are more inclined towards it. That is through machine learning, right? So that is why all these companies are transitioning themselves in knowing you personally, knowing as you as a person personally. That is why artificial intelligence and machine learning is a must to be known, right? Then what are the skills you need to learn? Okay, since artificial intelligence is a very high thing to learn, right? What are the various skills? I'll tell you. There is Python R, MySQL, Tableau, that remains the same. Data mining tools like Nime, Apache Mahout, Rapid Miner, that remains the same. Then is linear algebra. Yes, for artificial intelligence, you need to know a good level of mathematics. Linear algebra, statistics, signal processing techniques, neural network architecture. So all these things are are to be known by you all. So these are the most essential skills. Again, you don't have to worry. I'll tell you at the end where you can learn all these skills for free. Okay. Right. Sai Krishna is asking me, I have a bachelor's degree in statistics and master's degree in finance. What should I choose to learn further? Please help. Sai Krishna, you can go ahead and learning about big data. You can go ahead and learning about AI ML because various financial models that have come up, they are also being taken care by artificial intelligence and the use of data. You can build various financial models on the basis of this. So the next best skill that you can learn is about artificial intelligence, learning artificial intelligence and incorporating it in the finance models, right? That is the thing that you can learn. Then what are the top jobs that you need to focus in artificial intelligence and machine learning? That is machine learning developer. You can go through, you can become a data engineer, you can become a data scientist, right? Again, AI ML is a very elite level of skills that you can learn, right? Then comes blockchain development. Now, despite the relative freshness, blockchain technology has grown into multi-billion dollar businesses. Now, I am absolutely sure that you must have heard about Bitcoin or Ethereum somewhere or the other in the recent times, right? Now, if you know about these things, if you know about cryptocurrencies, you need to know what is the thing, what is the algorithm that powers them, and that is blockchain development, right? This is the most trending skill in today's world. You can know about blockchain because blockchain acts like a database that stores encrypted blocks of data and then links them together, right? Now this is a decentralized way of looking at things, which is why people are more inclined to, choosing blockchain development, knowing how to build a blockchain. That is the core skill that we are talking about, right? You need to know about database skills like MySQL, Hadoop. You need to know about programming languages like Java and Python, and also network management. You need to know all about that, right? Okay, Kadi Chidu is asking me, I have completed BCA, okay, and then MBA. What is the best career for me, right? Since you have completed BCA and MBA, so you need to upskill yourself in the domain, right? In the domain of computer programming. Get started with coding, move on to whatever you like from cloud computing, web development to, knowing about big data. You can choose any of these. I would suggest you to go for big data, right? Ankush is asking me career on designing, please explain. Okay. Ankush, for designing, right? There are various aspects to designing. One is website designing. The second is if you're designing something for any influencer of your or anything on social media platforms. There are two types of designing. What is the most relevant skill for the first one? I have already mentioned you can become a UI UX designer. You can become a user interface designer. You can design the color aesthetics of any website. You can design how does a particular website look, and again you don't need to learn coding or for being a UI UX designer. So you can become a UI UX designer. And if you're not willing to do that, you can learn about how to edit videos, right? I'll talk about that in the next, because next skill that I'm going to about is related to that. So just hold on, just stay on there, I'll talk about that. What is the best way to get started with coding? Okay, so the very first way of knowing coding is learning about programming languages. That is, either start with Python or Java. Now, where you can start all these things, just hold on with me. At the end of the session, I'll tell you where you can learn all these skills for free, absolutely free, and also gain a certificate out of it. You just need to stay in the session. I will tell you where you can gain all these skills. Right. Next, we are talking about what are the top jobs that are involved in blockchain development. So, what are the jobs? So, you can become a blockchain developer. You can become a blockchain quality analyst to check if everything in the blockchain system works accurately or not. Or if there is any loophole in it, you can become a blockchain solution architect in which you can design certain things that reduce loopholes in the entire network, in the entire blockchain network, right? So these are the top three skills you need to target when you're talking about blockchain development. And also in blockchain development, you could also get offers. When you know about this, you can also get abroad offers, that too in dollars. So you can go outside the country and work there, because the demand for blockchain development is a really high outside India. So you can target these things. You can also go abroad and target these job profiles, right? Then next skills. Okay, Ankush was asking me about these things, right? Yeah, you're not interested in software designing. Ankush is saying that you're not interested in software engineering, you want to start with UX design. Yes, you can start. You need to know about three most essential things, right? You need to know about Adobe Photoshop. You need to know about color gradients in that, because at the end, what UI UX designer does is that it just takes care of the aesthetic of how best looking a website can be. And that does not require coding. That requires the knowledge of Adobe Photoshop. It requires the knowledge of Premiere Pro. It requires the knowledge of Adobe Illustrator, how best way you can put a website out there, right? So video marketing I'm talking about, what is no longer, right? Video marketing, what it is about maintaining the videos that are coming up in social media platforms, right? Earlier in traditional ways, what used to happen is if any company is going out, right? They want to make a video. They go to production houses to make that video. In today's world, that same thing can be done at the comfort of your home. That can be done in your laptop itself. So if you are really good in skills like Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Adobe Illustrator, Canva, you are also in a very elite club, because if you've upskilled yourself in this four softwares, then you just go out and apply to any jobs. You can be a freelancer and work on various projects at the same times. There's tons and tons of money you can gain in this if you become a video marketer, right? Video marketing, again, it involves a lot of various skills, right? You can also become a search engine optimization expert that I talked about earlier in content marketing, because videos in YouTube also get ranked. How do you rank them? Understanding of YouTube algorithm that you would be learn as a video marketer. Then what are the top jobs? Content creator, video producer, video editor, search engine optimization expert. So these are the job profiles you can target. Again, this particular segment has a lot of freelancing opportunities that would give you tons and tons of money when we are working on various projects, right? Pankaj, okay, so in today's world, it is really not required for you to go ahead with any degree, right? What is the most essential part is knowing the relevant skill. If you have the quality of skills in your portfolio, in your resume, you don't really need to go and, get an MBA degree or get a higher education degree. Because if you are really confident in the level of skills you have, again, I'm already mentioning you a ton of times in this session that the quality of your skills is what matters in today's world, because no one really cares if you have a degree, if you are a 12th pass, if you are a MBA graduate. What really matters is that the quality of the skills that you possess, the quality of the skills that you have. You need to showcase your quality of your skills, and that can be done through upskilling. You can learn those skills, you can know about those skills in a greater depth. That is how you would get ahead of the competition that we have today, right? 10th skill is also for the people who are not looking at computer programming as their forte, they do not want to learn about computer coding. Then you can become supply chain and logistic management. Now, if you have noticed the current trends, if you have seen Amazon, Flipkart, Mintra, you've seen, food delivery apps like Swiggy and Zomato, you would have noticed that these companies, they have improved their logistic management, supply chain management. Earlier, about a decade before, what used to happen is that you would get your orders online within a span of 7 days, right? It used to take 7 or 8 days to receive your order. In today's world, you receive them in 2 to 3 days, or even in 12 hours you receive things. Food delivery as delivers you food in about 30 minutes, right? And they are moving ahead to 10-minute deliveries now. Zomato, for example, is moving to 10-minute deliveries. So how is that possible? That is done through supply chain and logistic management. You need to make sure that everything is done smoothly, your customers are happy with whatever they have ordered, they receive them on time, everything, the logistics, they move on time. So that is taken care by supply chain and logistic management, right? Spend Now most of the companies, what they want is to be cost competitive. Businesses are searching for method to cut cost and create a more efficient value chains. This is where you come in, right? You have your expertise. If you're upskilled in various concepts that happen in inventory management, in production management, if you know about the just-in-time philosophy, the Japanese philosophy of getting things done on time, then you would be working alongside various companies in maintaining their supply chain and logistic management. Now, companies are seeking for methods to create value added services in order to fulfill the needs of customers, right? Everyone wants the customer to be happy at the end. And to maintain the supply chain, to maintain the logistic management, you can get ahead of the competition. You can be in the forefront of maintaining these supply chains to be cost effective. That is what the job you would do. What are the jobs you need to target? You can be a supply chain expert, you can be an inventory control manager, you can be a production manager in any facility that you have. So that is what is talked about, the 10 most relevant skills that are there in today's world. Okay, so learner is asking me, out of these career, which is that career in which a person with a career gap can easily enter, right? If you have a career gap in your resume, right, what is the first thing that you need to do? Now, logically, if you think, you need to upskill yourself, right? If you have a gap in certain things, then you need to cover that gap with knowing the best skills that are relevant in the industry. So you need to upskill yourself when it comes to knowing. Right. So when I talk about learning these skills, then the most important aspect comes is Pareto principle, right? How you can learn these skills in the most effective way. Now, Pareto principle states that 20% of causes have 80% of consequences, which means that you need to learn only 20% of the most relevant things to gain 80% of the 80% of results. Now, what are these 20% of the things that I'm talking about? Now, these 20% of the things that I'm talking about is coding, is programming languages, is computer programming. Now, if you have noticed, most of the skills that I talked about need some kind or the other need to know about programming language, right? So if you learn Java and Python, that is the 20% of task that you would need to do, so that you would gain 80% of the results you will get is in that, right? So 20%, if you just learn Python, if you just learn Java, you would get 80% of competitive advantage with your peers. And this is a factual thing, right? It is not made up. You would gain tremendous amount of knowledge. You can move to any field if you just know two programming languages, that is Python and Java. Okay, learner is asking me, which skill should a career gap person learn? Again, I'm telling you that the first thing that you need to learn is Python and Java. When you know Python and Java, you can switch yourself into whatever suits you, right? Different people have different interests. You can go in cloud computing, you can go in big data, you can go in AI, ML. So all these things are open. You can become a web developer. So these are the things that are open for you to know, right? All right. Then comes the bonus section that I was talking about. Now, knowing all these things, what are the ways where you can go and learn these skills for free, right? Now, I want you to open up your Google or any other search engine and type there Great Learning Academy, right? If you type Great Learning Academy, you will land up to this page called Great Learning Academy. Now, Great Learning has this initiative in which we provide you free education, we provide you free courses that you can upskill yourself, that too for free. We deeply care about the level of skills that you have, so you can upskill yourself for free, and you would also get a free certificate that you can put in your resumes and apply for jobs. That is the first aspect of bonus section I'm providing you, the first aspect, right? So how you can go, if I scroll through this website, if you go down in this website, you can see a section of courses, right? You see tons and tons of courses. Now, someone asked me about, I think Arpas asked me about finance, right? You can go, you can learn about finance, you can search in the toolbar whatever the skills you want to know. You want to be a financial analyst, you can take up courses on business finance, right? See, we have courses of business finance, we have corporate finance, we have various type of finance models that you can build up, right? So you can enroll to any of these courses for free. You can click on this, you can see what are the skills that you would learn, you can know these skills, you can enroll yourself for free, right? You just have to enroll yourself for free. Click on enroll for free, learn this course, get the certificate, and then you can apply for any jobs that you want to learn, right? For the people who are talking about coding, what programming language to start, you can click on IT and software tab. We have different program. You have Java programming from scratch for beginners. You can enroll yourself. If you want to learn Python, you can enroll yourselves. If you want to go even forward in this, you can learn about blockchain we talked about. You can learn about front end development, back end development you can talk about. So all these things are there for free. You just have to visit the website mygreatlearning.com/academy. You can get tons and tons of courses for free, that too by top faculty. You just have to have the willingness to upskill yourself. That is what is required from your end. Grow to Great Learning Academy. Go to digital marketing courses. You have tons and tons of different courses for supply chain and logistic management, content marketing I talked about. We have course for that as well. Then you have big data, right? Big data, someone asking me how you can shift yourself in big data. We have massive amounts of courses here, right? I talked about Hadoop. I talked about, mastering the data analytics aspect of it. I talked about Apache Mahout. So you have different types of courses that you can learn here. Just have to go see what you can learn. Just go ahead and enroll yourself for free, get the certificate, put them in your resume, start applying for jobs. This is what you can do when you are a fresher, when you are just out of college. These are the things that you can put forward in your resume, right? We talked about cloud computing. There are tons and tons of courses in cloud computing. You can learn from scratch from cloud foundations. You can click on the course, know what are the various topics that are covered, get yourself enrolled, get complete the course, get the certificate, apply for jobs, right? Artificial intelligence, right? I talked about what are the most popular course in our platform is artificial intelligence, right? I talked about how it is the elite standard of learning, right? Machine learning and artificial intelligence. If you learn these skills, you will definitely be in the top 1%. So make sure you are upskilling yourself in this regard as well. All right. Then again, I talked about someone was asking me about website design without coding, right? We have graphic design workshops, right? We have the courses on Photoshop, video editing basics. We have UI, UX portfolio, how you can, build yourself in that regard. We have that in this. You just have to go to Great Learning Academy, scroll down, look at these courses, enroll to whatever you feel is most comfortable for you, what you want to build your career in. Enroll, start now today, because again 4 months have passed away in 2022 and you don't want to lose away any of the remaining months that are there in 2022. Quickly get yourself enrolled in these courses, quickly get upskilled to the level you can apply for jobs. Now bonus number 2 that I talked about is where you can apply for jobs. Now we, Great Learning, have lot of partners in the industry. We have lot of industry companies that we partner with, where we provide with, where they come to us regarding the jobs that they have. We provide the platform to all the learners where they can apply for these jobs for free. The thing that I'm talking about is Career Boost. Go to Great Learning, type Great Learning Career Boost in your search engines. You'll come to the website Great Learning Career Boost, www.mygreatlearning.com/academy/career boost. So you'll come to this website. You can join for free. Now I'm going to show you what are the jobs that are there, right? You have a software engineer job of Microsoft for 44 lakhs per annum. You have software development engineer in Code Nations, right? We have different partners of these companies. So we have this opportunity we provide to all of our learners that you can apply for these jobs. You can also look at the testimonials that people have, like like Ritvik enrolled to some, he got a security analyst job. Mohit got a security analyst job. So all these things you can, scroll, you can know about the testimonials from our learners, from the people who have been there. You can read about them in greater depth, right? You again, as I mentioned, we have a lot of different hiring partners. As you can see, we have Microsoft, we have EY, consulting firms like EY, KPMG, we have. So all these things we have. We have ZS, we have Wipro, all the big names in the industry we have on our platform. You can go visit, join for free on Career Boost, and we will be there to support you. We will be there to assist you. What is required from your end is the willingness to go and learn, right? Willingness for you to upskill yourself, and that too absolutely free at Great Learning Academy. Again, I'll be telling you can go and visit Great Learning Academy, select the courses that you are interested in, get the relevant certificates, put them in your CV. That is what is required from your end. No, Anmol, for AI, you do not need to have relevant experience, but you need to have the relevant skill that is required. So make sure you're upskilling yourself, take courses on AI, put those courses in your resume, then you would be good to go to apply for any fields, any job postings of AI or for freshers. You can go ahead with that. No issues on that front. So you don't need to require to have any experience when you need to apply to these jobs. As a fresher also you can apply to any of these jobs, right? If you have any more queries, you can put them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to respond. Okay, Anmol is asking, what is the best option to learn, Power BI or Tableau? I would say go ahead with Tableau, but again, if you can learn both of these skills, then that is really, really good. If you want to start with Tableau, then go to Power BI. Any other questions, if anyone have, I will be taking up questions now. You can ask me any questions that you have. Yes, learner, we have courses on project building as well. The courses with have a lot of case studies. You can go to the website Great Learning Academy and you can find out what are the courses that are relevant for you. What is required from your end again is the willingness to learn. We have Great Learning Academy, we have Career Boost. Enroll yourself for free on Great Learning Academy. Know about these courses more. Learn about, upskill yourself in this regard. That is what is required from you in 2022. Again, my team will be putting up all the, links for Great Learning Academy, for Career Boost. You can look at them, you can click on them, you can enroll. Start the journey today. Tomorrow never comes. Start your journey today. Make sure you are upskilling yourself. I know some of the people would be giving their exams, right? Or semester exams, or some of them would be working in companies. You don't have to worry. Spend your weekends upskilling yourself. That is what I would be telling you guys. All right. If no one has any further questions, I will be ending this session. But before that, we are taking this live sessions every day now. So we have two time slots, 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. So today at 5 p.m., my colleague Shantanu Rana will be taking a session on how to land your dream job. What are the tips you would require to switch the job if you are currently working in, right? So that is what is would be talked about in today's session at 5 p.m. So make sure you are available in that time slot, but because again that would be a knowledge pack session, so make sure you're available in that time slot as well. So thank you so much everyone for attending this session. I hope to see you soon. Have a nice day.